Hi guys, my name is Kirsty and welcome to Upside Down Books.
Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso.
Today I've got my October TBR to share with you guys, and I'm pretty excited for the month coming. I feel like the past couple of months have been a little slow on the reading progress side of things, but since the middle of August to like now, I just feel like I've been reading so slowly, so I'm hoping that October's going to be the month to crack it. In October, there is one read-a-thon and 2 buddy reads that I'm going to be participating in. The read-a-thon that I'm going to be participating in is round 4 of the alphabathon, so if you're looking for a read-a-thon to jump in and get involved with that's not one of the Halloween ones per se, feel free to come along and join in with us. I am on the team to be co-hosting it, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Round 3 was incredible. It is hosted by a lovely lady, Michelle, over at Bookaholic Banter. I'll leave her announcement page link down below for you guys to check out. The readathon is happening towards the end of October, so the dates are the 23rd to the 29th of October, so it's a full week and it follows a particular theme, so we're reading through the alphabet. This round is letter D. But I'll let you go and check out either my announcement page or Michelle's announcement page to read further into the details, but hopefully I will see you joining in. The 2 buddy readathons that I'll be doing this month are my usual one, which is with Casey over at Adopt a Book Oz. That one is for my new book club, which has been running for a couple of months now. I run that with Casey, so we read the books together, and that is called Squabbling Dragons. Again, links below for all of these things. This month I'm super excited for what we're going to be reading, and it is always so much fun to do a buddy read, and I love them because it means that you're probably almost certainly going to get around to the book you've agreed upon. And the second one is going to be with Amanda from Cover to Cover Mum. But for now, let's dive into what books I am getting around to. It does look like I've got quite a few books to get through in October, but because I've got the alphabathon and 2 buddy reads going on, I think I can do it. I think it's going to be a reasonable size. The first book on my list is Ink Spell by Cornelia Funk. Now, I am currently reading as I'm filming this Ink Heart, and I have like 300 pages to go, but I'm sure I can finish it by the end of the day because I really want to have that done by September. It's September 30th when I'm filming it, so fingers crossed on that one. So I'm anticipating I'll get that one done, and then I can start the new month off by continuing on with the series. This is a series that is half a reread for me. The first time and only time I've read it, I got halfway through Ink Spell and then I just put the book down and didn't keep reading it. So I'm trying to revisit my childhood and get these books finished off. So hopefully, I didn't get around to them this month, but in October we will see these finally done. That of course means that the next book on my TBR is going to be Ink Death. It is a trilogy, and I have the beautiful hardback edition of this one, which I absolutely adore, and I'm just so excited to finally be finishing off this series. The next book that I have is my first buddy read, which is with Amanda, so that will be happening, I believe, in the week starting on the 8th, thereabouts, and we're just going to give ourselves a whole week to get through it, and that is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. We've both been meaning to read this for ages. If you've been around for a little while now, you might have noticed this has been on my TBR for quite some time, and I'm going to finally bite the bullet and read it. I haven't really been avoiding it, I just keep putting it too far down in my TBR and not getting to it each month, but this is the month and it's going to get read. I'm so excited to see where the events are going to follow on from Six of Crows and how Bardugo is going to wrap up the series. The next book is actually one that I have for review. It's a book on my TBR that I'm anticipating that I won't read if I'm not making a steady progress throughout the month, but that one is Rise of the Chosen by Anna Kopp. I've had this on my to review pile for so long, so I'm finally going to get onto it. I think I'm going to really enjoy it. From what I understand from the synopsis, it's about an event called The Waking, where a whole bunch of people die and the ones that don't come back immortal, but then there are a whole bunch of other people trying to kill them. The tagline that goes with the book is as follows: in Sam's world there are 2 rules. Rule number 1, nobody dies, protect the living at all costs. And rule number 2, everybody dies at least once. So I'm really intrigued to see where this one is going to take that synopsis. The next book that I have for you is my buddy read with Casey and the book club pick of the month for October, and that one is Borderline by Michelle Baker. I'm super excited about this one. So the premise of this one is that Millie, the main character, loses her legs in a failed suicide attempt, and following on from that also loses her career, but she sort of gets her second shot at life when she gets given this mission, if you will, to go into this parallel world filled with fae and other fantastical creatures. So I'm not sure if the main character in this one is just paralyzed or literally has completely lost her legs, but I think that's really interesting that we're going to have a disabled main character. But I also think that the sort of real contrast between a filming career, which is what she's a part of, and the fae world could be really interesting. The next book on my list is going to be a questionable one as to whether I get around to it, and that is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J Maas. I'm super excited to read this. Not because I'm excited about the story, but because of what I've heard from other people. I am not Team Kale at all. I've never been a huge fan of his character, and after Queen of Shadows I really I pretty much dislike him. I think he's a bit of a stroppy person, but I've heard a lot. In fact, I haven't heard any bad things about this book, so I'm hoping that Sarah J Maas is going to surprise me, but I'm going to keep my expectations low because I'm worried if I get them too high I won't be as impressed. Whilst it looks like a fairly slim read, I think this one is coming up to the 700 page mark, which is a huge book considering my TBR already, but I do want to start reading it at some point, so my plan is that this will be the last book I start to read, at least before the read-a-thon in the last-ish week of October. So I'm hoping I can at least start it and just start reading it slowly over the coming weeks, so maybe I'll read half before and half after, we'll see. I'm also not too fussed if I don't get to it this week, I'm in no rush. Because at the end of the day I'm hoping to do a reread of the entire series leading up to the final book, which I believe is coming out next year. I'm not sure if its release date has been changed or not, so you know, no real rush on that one. So moving on to the chunk that is my TBR for the alphabathon, I'll quickly whiz through them because you can watch my entire video if you want to hear some more in-depth thoughts as to why I've chosen these books. As it is round 4, we are up to letter D in the alphabet, so that primarily means that we need to pick books starting with the letter D. So moving on to that TBR. The first book I'm planning on reading is Doctor Who: The Three Doctors by Terrance Dicks. This one is a tiny book, it's under 200 pages, so I think it'll be a really easy breezy read that I can maybe polish off in the first day or two depending on how busy I am. So I think that's a good one to start the read-a-thon with. The next one that I'm planning on reading is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. I'm so excited about this one. It's been on my TBR for so long and I've never read any of Black's works and I really want to. I hear a lot of good things about it, so I'm hoping I'll enjoy that one. Again, this isn't too big of a book. I think it might still be passing the 400 page mark. No. And this one is only just over 300 pages, so it's not unmanageable at all, and I think it should have a good pace to keep me hooked and reading to get it done quickly with any luck. The next one, and what I'm anticipating to be the last book that I get to in the read-a-thon, is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. Again, I've just heard multitudes of amazing things about Taylor's books and I have promised someone that I would get around to reading this one, so I'm really excited to do it. I think it'll be good. I'm anticipating it to be a slower read, but I'm honestly not sure. I couldn't tell you what this book is actually about if I tried to, but I'm excited to finally have this on a TBR and finally be getting around to reading it because it's been on my shelf for a few years now. However, I do still have one more book on my TBR because I like to pick 4 books for week-long readathons just in case, and that one is Dragon Champion by E.E. Now, this is the trade paperback, so it's a teeny tiny book, and it's just over 300 pages again, so it's not too long, and I think it will be interesting. It's portraying dragons as sentient beings. I think the main character is one of the last dragons of its kind, or possibly one of the last dragons, full stop. Either way, I think it will be really good. I just don't think I'll actually get around to it. This is my insurance book in case I run out of reading material, which is just pretty much never going to happen, but you never know. Okay, so these are all the books that I have for my October TBR, plus one ebook that you can't see here. I'm excited to get to all of them. I have high expectations that I will actually get around to like maybe 80% of this pile here, but I don't usually, but I really do think that I might this time, so we will see what happens in a month's time. But that's all I've got for you today, so I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!